tuning in once again to another episode of the Goodrich Chronicles. I am your host, Anthony Goodrich, and today, putting another one on blast. You know how I do. I can't stand a crooked-ass cop, and you know how I feel about these nasty-ass cops. I got another nasty-ass cop for you. Oh, man. In fact, I got two nasty-ass cops for you. One male, one female. Oh my God. Let me ask you this. Now I know whatever you do in your personal life shouldn't affect your professional life. But I have to ask you, if you knew that there was a police officer that was sexually exploiting animals, meaning having sex with them, you know the old term, bestiality, would you want that police officer serving in your community? Again, it's his own personal thing he does with his family, you know what I mean? Or should I say, the family dog. Not with his family, but the family dog. It's just one of the officers we're going to talk about. So just tell me, is that okay with you? Because to me, that symbolizes mental instability. Anytime you feel like you want to have sex with your dog. Yeah, man. Yeah, ladies. He's having sex with his dog. And not only that, he is a police officer on school campus. An officer, a resource officer at school. And not only that, he was being investigated for having inappropriate relationships with a female, a minor. Wow. It just keeps getting better. This fool, just like the other one, needs his ass whooped. So he's been sentenced to 2 years in penitentiary for having sex with his dog. Sick son of a biscuit eater. But I got another one for you too. This woman, Amber Ferguson. Wow. Not only is she accused, indicted, arrested for having the same type of, well, you know, she's doing, having, producing, manufacturing bestiality photos. Yeah, you heard me. A female cop manufacturing, producing, and distributing bestiality photos involving children. Now, it's one thing to have a possession or be in possession of a photo or video. That's one thing. It ain't good. It's not a good thing, but that's different than what I'm about to tell you. She produced and manufactured. That means she had hands-on creating sexually explicit content with minors and animals while being a police officer. What the hell is going on? She need her ass whooped. And that's no joke. I tell you the truth. I look at every cop that I see, every cop that I meet, I look at them with the side eye. Because you don't know what kind of person they are hiding behind that badge. They'll smile in your face and be doing all kind of nasty stuff behind your back. Yeah, fam. Here's what we know. Federal prosecutors say 34-year-old Amber Nicole Ferguson of Commerce was arraigned December 4th before U.S. Magistrate Judge Anna W. Howard. A federal grand jury handed up the indictment 2 days earlier, alleging Ferguson produced and attempted to produce child sexual abuse material, possessed child abuse material involving a minor younger than 12 years old, and created obscene content. Now let me give you the backstory on this. Investigators began looking into Ferguson after a family member of 2 minors reported concerns to the Commerce Police Department, according to the prosecutors. Investigators found child sexual abuse material on Ferguson's phone. As the case continued, authorities say they uncovered images involving a horse and a dog, bestiality that Ferguson allegedly possessed and produced. Come on now. Here's what they're saying. Sexual predators who prey upon children or sexually abuse animals for the purpose of disseminating images of the abuse face significant prison time if convicted in federal court. Now that was said by the U.S. Attorney General Theodore Hertzberg. To protect the community and its most vulnerable members, his office will aggressively pursue and prosecute anyone who commits such a crime. Now, I said something about this other dirty ass cop in the other video that I made, and you know where I think she should go along with this other fool? And I suggested, and it saved a lot of money and time, because there's no doubt that these two are guilty. So why not drop them off in the middle of an active volcano? They got one right here in Hawaii. Just drop their ass off right in the middle of the volcano and just have them evaporate. Never to be seen again, never to be heard from again, never to hurt another child again. I don't understand why we're keeping these people alive. What is the purpose? Because if they hadn't gotten caught, they'd still be doing it. So just tell me, what should you do with, should we just keep paying our taxes to, keep these people alive for 35, 40 years in prison while they're on death row or sitting in jail for the rest of their life and just keep feeding them and letting them have their life? Oh no, I don't think so. Evaporation. That's what I say. Evaporation, drop them off in the middle of a volcano. Check out these videos.
A former Kewaskum police officer is convicted in a disturbing bestiality case. The 35-year-old pleaded guilty to charges he sexually abused a family pet.
Fox 6's Ashley Sears is in the newsroom, and Ashley still has ongoing legal troubles here.
Yeah, Ben, he still has another case that hasn't ended involving his work as a school resource officer and allegations he was inappropriate with a student. During that investigation, officers searched his phone and uncovered alarming texts that led to these bestiality charges.
A man who was supposed to uphold the law, now convicted of breaking it. Former Kewaskum police officer Steven Rosales admitting to troubling allegations of bestiality.
The nature and severity of the charges, so I'm not going to belabor those points.
In April, Rosales was charged in the case. Court documents explain the 35-year-old performed sex acts on his dog inside his Campbellsport home.
This is a high publicity case. He's in the spotlight already.
The abuse came to light as another investigation was taking place. Rosales previously worked as a school resource officer in Kewaskum. Prosecutors say during that time he had an inappropriate relationship with a student. Investigators say he exchanged nearly 9,000 texts and explicit photos with an 18-year-old.
The guy I worked alongside for 7 years, and he's apparently not the person I thought he was.
It was during that investigation officers uncovered text messages between Rosales and another person where he explained graphic accounts of sexually abusing his dog. Monday, he pleaded guilty to 3 of those charges. A man who once wore a uniform representing trust now wears one of a different kind.
Athens Clark County police officer faces charges of sexual exploitation of a child. The GBI says 33-year-old Amber Nicole Ferguson turned herself into the Jackson County Jail yesterday morning. She's accused of taking sexually explicit pictures of a child. The GBI says the investigation remains active and ongoing and asks anyone with any information to come forward.
Them sick son of a bitches. Sick son of a bitches. they both need their ass whooped. I'll be the first one to tell you, and I'd be the first one to do it if I got the opportunity. But you know what? Usually people like that, when they go to jail, if they're in general population, but they might keep them in PC, protective custody, because people like that, they normally get their ass whooped in jail. Yeah, they do. They sure do. And they deserve it. Even if they got, let's just say, I'm going to use a restaurant term, even if they were 86th, gotten rid of, canceled, no more to be, I'd be okay with that. I'd totally be okay with that. Some people might say, well, an eye for an eye doesn't make it just. Well, when it comes to children, you do things like that, there's no reason to have this person even exist anymore. Period. Ever. No excuse. There's no rehabilitation from that. You cannot rehab from that. And when you go to jail, there's no rehabilitation there. They don't give a damn about trying to make you whole to society. You go to jail and you learn more than when you first went in there. And that's real in the field. Anyway, people, I had to bring this video to you because you know how I am. Anytime I see a dirty ass, crooked ass, nasty ass cop, I'm going to put him on blast. Good Lord. Thank you all for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend some time with me. And for that, I will always be grateful. In the meantime and in between time, until next time, Anthony Goodrich, signing off.